please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome to the exhibition of stupid people. Today we're going to start with a tweet from Catchy. I'm a new streamer, these things happen. Now this is a riff on an OTK tweet of we're a new organisation, these things happen from 2021. The reason Catchy tweeted this is actually because of a stream on her channel, where she's not really necessarily new to streaming at all, which proves the point this was basically an OTK riff. The stream itself was an OTK improv stream. It's been seen quite a lot, and there is a resounding opinion based on that stream and her performance. She needs to get off the source being that of the alcohol variety, further proven on Instagram with a cliche social media influencer cringe-ass photo because somebody had commented about the very stream by saying, hardest part about having one arm is watching people like you struggle with two and waste the best opportunities given to them. The stream could have made your career.
But you need to put on yourself, okay?
What? How? Can someone do it? Oh, okay, thank you, Nat. Thank you, Nat. Anything about stream?
Oh, which one's your pants?
I don't know, it's the black
okay,
one.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to touch you. Okay.
Yeah, touch me, it's okay.
I'm doing it. Is it in? Okay.
Oh. Is it in?
I think it's in.
Is it in?
Yes,
is it in? Type 1 if it's in.
That's, you would know.
There was also belief that because of Catchy's performance on that improv evening, where she made the host incredibly uncomfortable, it could have cost OTK some sponsors. Some of the replies to Catchy's tweet include, you embarrassed yourself and you embarrassed Nick, who basically vouched for you. I hope you get the help you need to be better in the future. And no, they really don't. This has nothing to do with being a new streamer and everything to do with being an alcoholic.
No, but legit, I don't care what he does to me. I'm not gonna make it that longer. I just enjoy it.
For your sake, I hope you learn from this. But it doesn't seem like you did. You had a big opportunity placed in front of you and you chose alcohol. I took the liberty of watching that stream. It wasn't a very good performance from Catchy, I will admit. And up until this point, I had no idea who you were. So that performance was important. A great way of showing off who you are, right? Turns out, you're really, by the OTK audience standards, no, you're not. No. Basically that. At the same time, it was hilarious for me to watch because you were drunk. Of course it's funny. You made people uncomfortable, you interrupted on a regular basis, you lolled, it was good. I mean lol as in lollygag, as in arms bleh, as opposed to laughing out loud. You were doing plenty of that anyway. In truth, OTK, I didn't even realise they were still going. But if they want to get people on to make the show better, you might not be considered a good fit. Solely because of the risk to their sponsorships that you posed because of that one improv evening. Honourable mention goes to an article from Screen Rant. The premise of this is to assign you a Space Marine chapter based on your zodiac. You know, that nonsense involving the stars. As I went through it, I didn't really care too much, although I did laugh quite hard at the Dark Angels being considered Cancer, because it's accurate. And then I got down to where I sit. Now, the majority of the chapters so far are all first founding, but they seem to have forgotten a number of them and decided that second founding was best for the Capricorn folk, where I unfortunately reside. It's not necessarily me being Capricorn or Black Templar I take issue with, because actually Black Templars are my first Space Marine army. They're my go-to, they're on my table. It's the picture. Black Templars rarely use long-ranged weapons. Seriously, there is something wrong if you cannot understand the gloriousness that is Sigismund's way and the melee. If you think this is an acceptable picture, chances are you're one of those towel-loving freaks. And for that, you should be exterminated. So next we're going to go to a video posted by Drama Alert to Twitter. This was actually retweeted or posted from Ian Miles Chung. There's a community note to it that we're going to get to in a moment. Here's the video.
I catfished this guy thinking he was catfishing me. I'm currently at the airport. We agreed to meet here because he is from America. But he is here. I can see him. You can't see him in this, but I can see him, and he doesn't know what I look like, obviously. I catfished him. He thinks I'm Sophie Rain. I sent him Sophie Rain photos telling him that was me. So he is probably over there somewhere looking for Sophie Rain, and he's not going to find her, because if he didn't know I'm not Sophie Rain, I feel really bad and I don't know what to do. He's flown from America to the UK.
Now, Ian Miles Chong had tweeted out she catfished a guy with photos of another woman because she thought he was catfishing her. He flew across the world to be stood up. Underneath there are proposed community notes. This is an undisclosed OnlyFans promotion. Here is the person responding to the original post's post, and then linking to her OnlyFupa Fibro failed adult film actor account, because at this point no one's ever seen a pair of boobs or a vagine. And the paid partnership marketing adult content is prohibited under X's rules. It's a handy little source to have there, isn't it? These kind of posts I've seen a number of on Twitter, and they're basically engagement farming. Think like YouTube Shorts with those who do commentary over random innocuous events. Yeah, you'll be shocked at what happens next, that kind of crap. This is the version of it that finds its way onto TikTok as well, because this stuff would be yeeted off YouTube in a heartbeat. The idea of being catfished or catfishing someone is intriguing, if it were true from the offset. It's hard to take someone as truthful when they spend most of their time just posting lewds, nudes and other stuff they do with dudes perhaps, on their social media. And I firmly believe I'm allowed to look down on this kind of content because ultimately it's not content. It's solely done to drive traffic to where you make your content. By the way, upon looking at your Twitter briefly to see the vast sizes of resin items you like to use for enjoyment purposes, recreational, you can catfish with the face, but the body won't lie. It would be like throwing a sausage down a well, or after some of those toys have been used, throwing a cocktail sausage into the Grand Canyon and expecting friction. Just as a small thing, on her TikTok she had posted about 7 videos, one responding to a detractor about the crappy behaviour of this, others saying that she felt really bad about ditching the guy at the airport having not told him anything. Well, I feel real bad, I called my brother, please save me. Yes? And then posted an update with a phone call, or phone messages and audio, to try and downplay how much of a crappy human being she is, apparently.
Catfish update. Let me pull up the messages and I will show you.
HR, are you okay? I got sent a video of you and I'm so confused. Please call me.
So I spoke to him and he had seen my TikTok. But he was like totally cool about it. He was like, I understand the situation. It's a bit weird, but obviously you thought I was catfishing you, so you did catfish me, which I wasn't catfishing you, but you still did catfish me.
I still think you're trash, and your entire thing is to farm for attention to get to your OnlyFupa Fibro failed adult film actor account. But that's just me judging you, because I'm allowed to do that. In fact, everyone is. You're a crappy human being. If the guy's real, you're definitely a crappy human being. Honourable mention goes to the cretins who still have Frankie Valli playing on stage, miming to his own music. The guy looks like he could actually be AI. Man's on tour until 2025. At this point, because there's no way he's doing the singing anymore, he's just there because he looks the part. Can't lift his arms up, like John McCain of old, and he's barely moving his mouth at all. To those who are cashing in on this, please stop. It's like the poor treatment we saw for Stan Lee towards the end of his life as well, when people just rolled out merch after merch for him to sign. It's kind of tragic. We have within this series discussed Mr. Beast, Logan Paul and KSI linking up to produce a competitor to Lunchables. This was crapped on by a number of content creators, and there's much in the way of discussion about that, for and against. Totally fine. It's called discourse, I'm all for it. Dan TDM had put out one tweet, and he has been living rent-free in KSI's head for a few weeks now. KSI tweeted out, "A lot has happened these past few days online, so here I am addressing everything below." Now if you click that link, it takes you to a new song on his channel called Thick of It, which has 675,000 views, but is majority dislikes. Top comment, he never disappoints when it comes to disappointing, and KSI 2013 KSI would bully current KSI. Readers added context that this is misleading and it broke X guidelines because it is a marketing tactic by WMG to promote his new single. This was also used recently for the song but with Jake Paul. KSI News had tweeted that KSI had released an apology to Dan TDM and his fans. In that, he tried to lead up to it and then just cried with laughter because that's KSI. It's what he does. Fearbuck. McDonald's just teased a collaboration with Kai Cenat by posting a photo of his setup featuring a bag of McDonald's on their social media accounts. Reply from, or retweet from KSI, Dan TDM, where you at? If we're going to go with this, we could also include I Show Speed and his KFC for Life thing. KSI retweeted FaZe Banks, who had said, hate to say it, but the same people who are bitching about MrBeast, KSI and Logan launching a Lunchables competitor are celebrating Kai Cenat's McDonald's collab. For the record, I think both are great, just some of you are so painfully fake it's impossible not to call out. With KSI saying Banks has always been a real one. Reply from Dingle, releasing your own product targeting kids versus collab targeting everyone is different, bro. Feels like semantics, to be honest, but I do understand why people would interpret it differently. KSI, AO Dan TDM. Why don't you come over to Sidecast? Let's talk this out like men. Sidecast, I believe, is the podcast for the Sidemen. A proposed community note, Dan TDM made one tweet criticising Lunchly, a product made by those three. KSI has been milking this drama ever since. Dan has not made a single response since his initial tweet. I will admit, the fact that he is living rent-free in KSI's head does tickle me to no end. I do believe there is a position here when it comes to consistency. If you want to judge one creator for doing it, you have to hold that same energy. To be honest though, just because he was inspired to criticise you, KSI, and Logan Paul and MrBeast with your Lunchly product, doesn't mean he has to say it again and again and again, because in his original tweet, Dan was very generic, very open on his criticisms for all creators. Granted, the word all wasn't there, and you were the inspiration, but it doesn't change that that message rings across the board. So you are, by extension, milking something that does not need to be milked. I do think it would be great to have you two have a conversation, but at the same time, it will be a very short conversation. You guys, for years, the Sidemen especially, have been linking up with other manufacturers, other brands, to promote Sidemen, to promote your XIX, to promote Sidemen clothing. I know this because I've seen you do it with SpongeBob and Elise, one of those sporting clothes things. Yeah, you've been doing it for years. But at least in that context, you were repping it by wearing it, promoting it less with your words. You were instead producing content, and that was getting the marketing out there. Now you're very much about marketing. It's a very different area to be in because more money's involved. One tweet was all it took to drag something out for 2 weeks, and your music has suffered because of it. Honourable mention, yes, we're going to do another one, to PewDiePie, who was recently banned on Twitch because his streams play an endless loop of his old YouTube videos. He was summarily unbanned after 14 minutes and 24 seconds. At least you got that dealt with, I guess. Did you notice in your bank account at all? Did it impact your ability to earn the shekels? Yes. The final subject I'd like to talk about concerns Iron Mouse. Now, we've discussed them a couple times, and I did not support, very openly, vocally, did not support, even if they're a VTuber and I don't like VTubing that much. They're banned from YouTube. I understood, though, that the ban on YouTube was going to happen after one of their accounts was terminated. It happened to Amaranth. If you lose one account, you lose all your accounts, because it's considered ban evasion. During the month of September, Iron Mouse was very active, which is highly commendable, considering the issues they have in their life. During the month of September, where subscriptions on Twitch cost a little bit less, although do they actually cost less now the prices have gone up a bit? Iron Mouse was rewarded for her hard work by becoming the most subscribed to Twitch streamer during that month, surpassing Kai Cenat's record, which is fantastic, especially when you take into account Iron Mouse was donating vast amounts of that to charity. Does not surprise me that that is what Iron Mouse wanted to do. I saw some rather amusing responses. Kai Cenat had put out a press conference. Aiden Ross came across as a bit salty, but you know what? At least he gave her props. After September, I noticed something else had happened, and this is where we get some good news for a change. Iron Mouse has gotten her YouTube channel back. To me, that is deserved. Again, I may not care for VTubing as a whole, because it's not my type of content. However, and it doesn't matter how many times I say that, I don't generally support TOS when it comes to banning you off one account means you lose all your accounts. I think it should be context-based. If you are somebody that goes from account to account, breaching TOS by harassing, haranguing, bullying other creators, or people IRL like kick streamers, there's a point there. If, say, like myself, I got yeeted off my Moisky Reads channel, should I lose my main channel, this one, because of a channel based on narrations, stories, poetry? I don't believe that you should, and I think that should apply to Iron Mouse as well. Iron Mouse getting her account back is good. It's also good optics for YouTube, because the termination did look a bit odd. The responses from others on Twitch or Kick, streamers, who have found out who Iron Mouse is, because they didn't know before, has been quite amusing, because VTubers for a while have taken a lot of flack as creators. Much of it is unjust, some of it is right on that line because of those avatars being remarkably inappropriate. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You need to stop it. You're skirting the territory of the thoughts. Can't be tits and have a biscuit. Put some clothes on your avatar.